Hi, everybody. My name is Lisa Kessler from Kessler Insurance, and I'm here today on behalf of the wonderful, fun initiative Cheers for Charity New Hampshire. And I am here with my wonderful cohort, partner in crime here, Joanne Burchuk. Hey, Joanne.
Hey, Lisa. Hi, I'm Joanne Burchuk. I'm with Lighthouse Physical Therapy, and we're excited. We have another great guest here on Cheers for Charity today, and we'd like to welcome Russ Grazier, and he's with PMAC, also known as Portsmouth Music and Arts Center. And welcome, Russ, and please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your organization.
Well, thank you both so much for having me here today. Again, my name's Russ Grazier. I am a co founder of Portsmouth Music and Arts Center, which we affectionately call PMAC. And our mission is to build community through the arts by providing all people with the opportunity to achieve their personal creative best, regardless of their age, their ability, or their economic status. So, we work to do this through high quality music and visual arts education programs and by creating ensemble, performance, and exhibition opportunities for students, professionals, and audiences. So, it's a real big deal for us to be able to provide education programs, to provide performances and exhibitions, and to provide pretty much any type of creative opportunity that we come up with, whether it's outreach or registration based education programs for the community.
That sounds fantastic. So tell us a little bit about your students. I guess what's the age group and how do people get accepted, or how do they become part of your program?
Well, the good news is that the acceptance policy is everyone is welcome. No one gets turned away. It's a really inclusive, welcoming school that really wants to give everyone the opportunity to explore their own creativity. Our programs typically start around age 4 or 5. Our youngest students do piano or violin lessons, and as students grow older, as people grow older, more opportunities become available, whether it's learning how to play guitar or the drums at age 8, or being a wind player, playing flute or saxophone or trumpet or trombone, or even as you get into your early teens, taking some serious vocal training. So there are lots of opportunities for young people, and it goes all the way through adults. So, we have students who are in their 90s, and we have all ages pretty much. So it's really a welcoming community. One of the great things that we do with adults is reconnect them with their activity of their youth, whether it's visual arts or music. If they did something that they were passionate about when they were young, and then went to school, had a career, had a family, and got busy in life, and then decide later in life that they want to come back to this creative activity that they did when they were younger, we provide the opportunity to do that, which is really cool. So we have a lot of people coming to us in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s saying, I want to pick up that trumpet that I haven't played in 40 years. Can you help me do that? And we actually have opportunities for that as well.
Now that's great. Now, is all your staff volunteer, or are they paid staff? How does that work?
That's a great question. We have a faculty of 40 professional musicians and visual artists that teach our classes. They are all employees of the school. They're all faculty members. They all get paid. For many of them, this is their primary source of income, especially during the pandemic. It's become their primary source of income. A lot of musicians have lost all of their performance work. So it's really been a lifesaver for a lot of the artists within the community to be able to have the opportunity to teach. And we do things, a lot of our work right now virtually using Zoom and other technology to continue with music and art classes and lessons. And it's been really wonderful for the community and the teachers. But they are all paid, and they have degrees, or they often have a lot of professional experience as performing, touring musicians or exhibiting artists. And it's really a mentor-based program. So our artists and musicians serve as mentors for their students.
Oh, that's amazing. I'd love to ask, just to add on to that, I think it's awesome that you're providing these opportunities for these really talented people to continue to share their craft. How has COVID impacted your organization?
Oh, it's been pretty dramatic. Like a lot of schools, we immediately had to move everything to an online virtual format last March and 2020. And for quite some time, everything that we offered was virtual. Starting this past September 2020, we were able to begin to reopen our building, but in a very limited capacity. We follow all of the CDC and state guidelines for COVID safety, which limits the ability for us to use our building. So only about 20% of our typical building operations are now taking place in the building, and 80% of what we would typically do in the building is still happening virtually. The good news is that technology is in a very good place right now for doing remote learning. And we've actually had really fantastic feedback from our students and their parents and the adult students about the experience of online learning. It's been very positive. And one of the silver linings of the pandemic is it's accelerated our implementation of remote learning as a standard format. So, we will continue to do remote learning far beyond the pandemic, and it will become one of the options for any student who wants to study with us, and also becomes an option for the teachers. So for the first time ever, we've hired teachers that don't live in the immediate area and don't teach in our building at all. So we now have a violin teacher who lives in Austin, Texas. We have a piano teacher who lives in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We have a saxophone teacher who lives in California. So we have teachers who are from throughout the country who are teaching entirely remotely for us, and it's been a really positive experience for everyone.
Yeah, and I think so many businesses that have pivoted towards using online courses are like, yeah, we're going to keep doing this because even for like busy parents who can't get their kids to music lessons, it opens up a whole new opportunity for students to be able to get these great lessons from experts and be able to pursue music or arts or whatever is of interest to them. Tell me about the experience of somebody that, that wants to take advantage of your services. Would they just go online to look at what's available and sign up online?
Well, our website is a fantastic resource for learning about what we do. We're at pmaconline.org, and you can go there and you can see our full catalog of all of our offerings. You see bios for all of our teaching artists and learn about our organization. But you can also just pick up the phone and call our office at 603-431-4278 at any time, and our staff will be happy to walk anyone through the process of becoming a student at PMAC. The first step is to figure out what you want to do. So say you want to take an art class, or you want your child to take an art class, or you'd like to do saxophone lessons or piano lessons or play in a rock band. You figure out what you want to do and then look at our schedule and reach out to us, and we can let you know what's possible and what's available based on your schedule, based on the instructor's schedule, based on availability for slots in an ensemble. We have a youth chamber orchestra, all different types of opportunities. So you figure out what you want to do, reach out to us either through our website or through a phone call or an email. And we have a staff that's going to, respond immediately to you and walk you through the process of getting registered. Our programs are, for the most part, tuition-based. However, we offer a lot of financial assistance, so tuition should never be a barrier to participation in our programs. We do over $50,000 a year in tuition aid to families in the community. So there are some students who go on 100% tuition aid and don't pay tuition at all. There are some students who pay half tuition, or some students who pay a quarter tuition. Just whatever we can do to make sure that the programs are accessible to everyone and that the finances don't become a barrier to participating in the arts.
Yeah. And do you also have connections for a student that would like to play a violin and they don't have a violin? How do you?
Yes. Yeah, there's several things that we can do. I mean, we can connect you and point you in the right direction for renting an instrument or purchasing an instrument if that's the path you want to follow. If you have a child who really wants to play a musical instrument, but you cannot afford an instrument, there are some other nonprofits that we work with that match young people with instruments. One of them is the Continuum Arts Collective out of Berwick, Maine, and they're a wonderful organization that matches students with instruments, and then we often often match students with scholarships, or sometimes they even provide scholarships for the students to study music, whether it's at PMAC or elsewhere in the community. So there are some, wonderful organizations doing really important work throughout the Seacoast area to make sure that music and visual arts and other art forms stay accessible to the kids in our community.
Awesome. I'm so grateful that's out there. Now, are you finding that this is, with the COVID situation that's happened, that music and arts has been helpful in terms of helping children deal through this by having
Yeah.
that connection to music and arts?
Well, I think expressing yourself creatively really helps you process your surroundings in your life and what's going on. So it's, I've heard that over and over from families about how much of a lifesaver, whether it's the weekly private lesson that a student takes or participating in some type of ensemble. Some ensembles are happening in person, some ensembles are happening remotely, and there are some things we're able to do, some things we're not able to do. And as the vaccination starts to get distributed throughout the region, we're hoping that we'll be able to do more and more in person. But the ability to make music or create art has always been a really therapeutic process for most people. And being able to express yourself, especially in times where you're facing significant challenges, is a very positive thing. So we do hear that from parents especially, but we also hear it from our adult students who at first might have thought that meeting on Zoom every week was something that they didn't want to do, and now they can't imagine their life without it, with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Amazing.
What are you finding your biggest needs are right now?
Well, we're always, looking for support to make sure that we have enough scholarship funding to go around. So we have this just amazing collection of donors and sponsors in the community that step up every year and provide the funding to make sure that we're able to say yes continuously and not ever say no to someone who wants to have access to our programs. So that's really important. But also, just making sure that people are aware that we're here and what we do and the positive impact that we're having in the community. So people who follow us on social media, who share our posts, and even opportunities like this to be able to share our story with a larger audience has a tremendous impact. And really, I would almost bet that there's going to be a young person that's going to take lessons or play in an ensemble as a result of us sitting here today and talking about. Someone's going to learn about this and they're going to follow that path, and something good is really going to happen for someone. So anytime people can help share our story and share what we're sharing on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter and get the word out there, that makes a bigger difference than people realize.
That's awesome. Well, we're hoping, I would love to see good stuff from our conversation today. That would be, that's our whole path. That's the whole point.
It will happen.
We want goodness to come from
Yeah.
our efforts. This is awesome, Russ. So as you said, you have, a website, you have some social media, where should people be following you?
Well, our Facebook page, Portsmouth Music and Arts Center, I think it's PMAC Portsmouth is what it's under on Facebook. But if you just search Portsmouth Music and Arts Center on Facebook, you'll find our Facebook page, and that's very active. We also have a very active Instagram account, and we have a very active YouTube page where you can see performances. So one of the things that we've done throughout the pandemic is we've put together video performances of our ensembles and posted them on our YouTube page. And some of them are, really interesting kind of mosaics of students filming themselves playing their part at home, and then we put them all together in an ensemble performance, which can be really cool. And some of them are like social distance masked performances that take place in our building, but you can kind of go and get a sense of the community groups and things that are available. We're on Twitter as well, just maybe not as active. And we actually have a Bandcamp page. Most people don't think about Bandcamp, but it's almost like iTunes for independent artists. And if you go to Bandcamp, I think it's pmacportsmouth.bandcamp.com, and that is where we have recordings of our summer rock camp kids and our singer-songwriters and our faculty, and you can go and listen to music there. So lots of opportunities online to check us out.
That's fantastic. Oh my gosh. I'm just inspired listening. Like, to all this. This is fantastic.
I know. I'm going to go pick up my flute and play it again.
Right?
I have mine right here in front of me.
Oh.
I've been practicing it lately. I'm a saxophonist by trade, but also play some flute and clarinet. So you should definitely pick up your flute and go play it again. I think it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm gonna walk over to, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say on Tuesday nights, I have an ensemble that I lead called New Horizons Band, and that's the group that connects people with the instrument they played when they were younger and allows them to pick it right back up. It's, it started out as sort of being like a fifth grade band for adults. Now we're like a high school band, but, we welcome anyone at any time. And our motto is your best is good enough, which means what you're able to play is fine. You don't have to be an expert at the instrument, but we want to get you in an ensemble. We have quite a few flute players in the ensemble. And right now we meet online and we actually have a really effective remote rehearsal technique that works really well using some smart music technology. So I encourage you, if you want to learn about it, I'd love to have you come and sit in on a Tuesday night. You'd have a lot of fun.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
Sounds like a
Awesome.
great community, right? Like a great way for people to build community and connection too. So
Yeah, it is. And I see in our adult program as well as in our youth program, I see people meet all the time and become lifelong friends. So it's really been, that mission of building community through the arts is really something we take seriously and something that does result as through the work that we do. So we're really excited about that.
it's awesome. You guys have a fantastic reputation. We love hearing about your organization. We are so grateful that you've spent this time that highlight. We hope people listen to this, and we hope people that go on, learn more, and get engaged with you all. You're doing important work, and we appreciate it.
Well, thank you for all you do as well. I really enjoy watching your videos and learning about all the. I was just watching a video, and I'm going to forget the name of the nonprofit, but you might remember. And they put together wardrobes for kids who are in foster homes. And I thought that was absolutely amazing. And I had never heard of it before. So the work you're doing is introducing people to new things. So I'm excited about that as well. Good job.
That's a pass along project. She's amazing. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, it was the Pass Along Project, and it was fabulous to hear about. So just great
Awesome.
work you're doing. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Thanks for being here.